What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, once again, we've got some F1 2017 gameplay, and today we'll be diving into the invitational events once again. So, in this one, I've showed you, a lot of the other different, game modes like Overtake, Challenge, Pursuit. I haven't done Time Attack yet, I don't believe. So that'll have to wait till a full version of the game. But today, we'll be checking out the Checkpoint Challenge. So basically, this is like a kind of time trial event. Basically, you've got to go around the circuit and try and drive for as long as you can. You have a set time to meet a particular target, and yeah, your goal is to get as far as you can without the timer running out. So we're at Monza here in the Italian Grand Prix, driving Sebastian Vettel's Redbull RB6, I believe, the one from F1 2010. So yeah, this is one of the most interesting classic cars in the list, considering it is only 7 years old. One of the most modern. I think it is the most modern out of all of them. But this car handles nothing like the original F1 2010 car. It is, you wouldn't believe. Like, it's so pointy. It turns so much. It just changes direction so rapidly. It's amazing. I asked David Greco personally what his favorite car was in terms of the classic list, and he straight up said this one. He just said, you know, it just grips up so much. It goes exactly where you want it to go, and it's just so light and agile. But yeah, just completely different handling to the original F1 2010 game, which I found to be just really extraordinary. One thing it must be said is this car feels really slow at the top end, like in a straight line. Like, I was driving around this car in Brazil, I believe, and when you get about halfway down the straight, when you get to about the pit complex, it just feels like the straight is going on forever. And Brazil doesn't even have the longest straight in the game, which I found quite interesting, because I was driving another car back to back with that one, and yeah, straight line speed really wasn't there. But in the corners, this thing is an absolute demon. But yeah, in terms of this challenge though, I think you start off with like 30 odd seconds, and every time you pass the checkpoint, you get like, I don't know what the starting off point is, 25 seconds, and then every time you go through the checkpoint, that additional time that you get gets lower by a second or two every single time. So eventually you'll get to a point where it's almost physically impossible to continue to go along. So we've just ticked over the 7.5 kilometer mark, so effectively now we've passed the challenge, and we can pretty much stop now if we wanted to. We're going to get the rewards for that, but I just wanted to push myself and see how far I can go. We've still got 17 seconds left on the clock, so we'll see how we go. And I'll actually let you listen to the game sounds, because I've been waffling on here for a good while now. Looks like we might be coming to the end of the challenge now. 5 seconds left to go, and the checkpoint is just up ahead. Yes, we do clear it just by 2 seconds there, so we get 17 seconds to reach the next checkpoint, and I think this might honestly be the point where it's game over for us. We've made over 13 kilometers now, just ticked over to 13, so that's a pretty good achievement. Unfortunately, that is the end of the challenge, and that is the Redbull RB6 in action on F1 2017. Like I said, the change of direction is absolutely mental. Biggest thing I got from that car, I was almost unintentionally cutting corners. But that's that challenge. Let's move on to the next one in the 1998 Mclaren.
Welcome to today's invitational event, where some of the world's finest drivers will be treating us to a special exhibition of some of the sport's most iconic cars.
So here we are then at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and today we'll be jumping in the 1998 McLaren MP4-13, and this one is going to be vastly different to the RB6 that we just drove about 5 minutes ago. So Once again, the pass goal, 6 kilometers. I think it's a little bit less than what the challenge was in Monza. That's to be expected, of course, because you cover a lot more ground in Monza a lot more quickly because of the, really long straights and high average speed. So, Brazil, the average speed is still pretty high, but it's a bit lower around this track due to the middle sector being quite tight and twisty, so it's harder to cover the same amount of mileage. But, yeah, initial impressions of this McLaren, it feels very heavy, very understeery. In all honesty, feels a bit like a boat. And you'll kind of get that impression as you follow me across the course of this challenge here. I just understeer a lot in high-speed corners. It's probably not a bad car to jump in straight away, but when you go from the most agile and one of the best handling cars on the game to now a really old McLaren, it just feels worlds different, and took a little bit of time to get used to that, but hopefully that doesn't hamper us in this challenge. We've almost covered a lap now, almost losing the back end as well, so the car is a little bit unbalanced. You've got that entry understeer and then that exit oversteer. It's not the kind of balance setting that you really want to have, but we come to the end of the first lap now. Just under 4 kilometers have been covered, so I think if we get halfway through this next lap, then that will be challenge pass. So yeah, I think we'll be pretty good. But once again, as always, you guys want to hear what the engine sounds are like in this McLaren. I believe it's a V10, so once again, you get to hear what this sounds like and almost make some comparisons to the Ferrari that we heard yesterday. So have a listen and let me know which one is your favorite in terms of engine sound. I actually thought that was going to be the end of the challenge there. Just snagged the checkpoint with about 1 second to go. I think it's almost inevitable that this one here will be the last checkpoint. And there we go. It's at the exit of turn 3. And we are out of time. That is the challenge done in the McLaren MP4-13. Let me know what you think of this car down in the comments. In all honesty, the sound is okay. It's nice to hear a V10, but I don't think it really compares to the Ferrari that we heard yesterday. That thing sounded amazing, especially from third person, like the replay cameras. Like that introduction shot that I had in yesterday's video sounded just incredible. But that's been this video for today, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2017 content. I'm running out of preview content, it must be said, so I think this might be the only upload for today. There might be one more tomorrow as well, but that will do the preview content, and then on Monday, the embargo list for the full version of the game, and that's when I'll be kicking off my career mode in the McLaren Honda. It's going to be very interesting, very tough, very challenging, and hopefully you guys enjoy the struggle that is to come, at least in the first season of F1 2017 career mode. I'll try and rack through it as quickly as I can. It's going to be a bit of a homage to the Manor season we did on F1 2016. But that's it for today. Check out my other F1 2017 videos if you haven't already. I've got lots of footage of all the other classic cars that I've covered so far. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you next time.